United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Jessica Lopez, Third Ward.
Michael Safone, Fourth Ward.
Matthew Williver, Fifth Ward.
Ann Shershon, Sixth Ward.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, Attorney for the Town.
John Baisley, Town Supervisor. Welcome, everybody. Tonight's agenda, first thing on the agenda is a public hearing to amend Town Code Chapters 210.125 and 210.125.1. Number 2 is a public hearing of property maintenance for 26 Cooper Drive. The zoning administrator has asked us to remove it due to compliance. Number 3 is a presentation by Linda Hannigan, RBT CPA, to discuss the town's audit and financials. Number 4, resignation of police officer Dominique Mills. Number 5, accept the resignation of police assistant Corin Burns. Number 6, appoint police assistant Jennifer London. Number 7, accept the canine donation from the PBA. Number 8, authorize a street light for Conifer Court and Balmoral Drive. 9, authorize agreement with the county for snow removal and ice services through the Highway Department. 10, Fox Run legal agreements. 11, South Road crossing legal agreements. 12, Arlington Farms Malabar Planning Bar lead agency intent. 13, approved 2020 minutes. 14, award proposal for engineering service from CPL for map plan report Spagco Pump Station. 15, accept and authorize the supervisor to sign a grant for police services from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. 16, authorize escrow acceptance contract. 17, adopt the base proportions. 18, notification of Raymond Avenue School subdivision, type 1 negative declaration. 19, authorize Shady Brook Mobile Home Park legal documents. With that said, I'd like to make a motion, open public hearing number 1, which is adopt and amend Town Code Chapter 210.125, 210.125.1. So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to open public hearing number 1. Is there anybody to discuss public hearing number 1? Anybody discuss public hearing 1? Anybody raise their hand? No? If not, I make a motion to close public hearing number 1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Jeff?
Yeah, Jay, I can't read, unfortunately. I can't get
All right.
that.
I'll read the first one. I got it.
Sorry.
Being enacted as the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie pursuant to a duly noticed public hearing held on August 5th, 2020, 7 p.m. Town Hall, Town of Poughkeepsie, 1 Over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, does hereby adopt a local law amending Town Code Chapter 210 entitled Zoning, specifically Section 210-125 entitled Signs Permits in ATC, SPC, CHCO, CHCO, EO, MHC, and RRH districts, and to add 210-125.1 entitled Signs Permitted in the MHC district, and be it further enacted the proposed amendments with the language to be added underscored and the language to be deleted stricken are attached hereto and incorporated herein. The Town Board does hereby waive a verbatim reading of said amendments and does direct that said amendments be spread across the record as if they, in fact, have been read verbatim. Be it further enacted, the Town Board has previously declared its intent to act as lead agency under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act and does declare said action to be a Type 1 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR. Be it further enacted, the Town Board has reviewed the long environmental assessment form, EAF, prepared by the Director of Municipal Development, and hereby determines that 1, the adoption of the herein zoning amendment would not have a significant adverse effect on the environment, and 2, a draft environmental impact statement will not be required for the reasons set forth in the attached determination of no significance, and 3, a negative declaration is hereby issued. Be it further enacted that a written recommendation was received from the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development stating the proposed amendment was a matter of local concern. Be it further enacted that a written recommendation dated July 17, 2020 was received from the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board in which said board recommended adoption of the proposed amendments with one minor revision to the proposed 210-125-1BA that has been incorporated herein. Be it further enacted, the town clerk notify the clerks of surrounding municipalities of the public hearing pursuant to GML 239NN. And be it further enacted, the legal notice of public hearing was posted on July 17, 2020, and published in the Poughkeepsie Journal on July 22, 2020. Be it further enacted, the said local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on that?
I just wanted to say that I never did receive the, anything from the county yet as of 4 o'clock today.
Do you know if Mike received it?
Usually they email it or fax it to me during COVID.
While we're doing this, I see Jeff Kane's name up there.
Yeah.
Is Jeff up? Because as the applicant, he might have received a
something.
copy. There he is.
They did say it was coming, but
Jeff?
Yes, hi. The only county recommendation I saw was one that was provided to the planning board. I also see Mike on. It would take me a minute to find it, but I can send that over either in a minute or following this. But the as in the language that the supervisor read, county planning said it was a matter of local concern.
usually it is, but I'm just letting you know I can't fill that blank in because
Yeah.
I didn't receive it.
Yeah, and the idea of going ahead on these things when the county's 30 days has not expired is not a great idea.
Has the 30 days expired?
I don't know.
No.
Jeff, what's this going to do if it gets put over to the 19th?
They're supposed to open this week.
There are a couple of businesses that were looking forward to this passing to be able to get their sign permits and be open in the next for that 2-week period.
Actually, Mike, do you know if you've received anything or no?
Usually,
I
no.
don't believe that I have. It would have gone probably to Felicia in any case, but they
I did
rarely
receive the one
would
out of the two
make
I
a
sent them,
comment
and she said it
on
was
something
coming.
like this, you know.
If you can give me a minute, I can check my records and come back to you.
What was that, Jeff?
If you can give me a minute, I can check through my records, because I thought there was one that went to the planning department, and then I could provide that with you. If I can't find it, I can't find it, but if you can give me, a couple of minutes, if you want to do the next public hearing perhaps, and then I can dig up what I have.
Yeah, why don't you just move ahead, because as I'm looking at the introductory resolution, Jeff, it's dated July 8th, so I'm assuming that the referral didn't go out until the 9th, so
It might not be due back yet.
So the 30 days would not have expired, right? Yeah.
I mean, I could go and check my emails when you're doing the presentation,
All right.
so I would
okay.
just hold off on the vote.
Right.
That's what I would suggest.
I say, well, make a motion to table this to further on in the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That brings us to the next public hearing is a property maintenance for 26 Cooper Drive, which is going to be removed due to compliance. So I'd like to take this one off the table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And for the applicant that was here from 26 Cooper Drive, it's no longer an issue according to the zoning
Yeah,
board.
it's the Poughkeepsie Visitor Zoom on TV. No.
And that brings us to number 3, our presentation from the auditor. And before that, I'd like to make a motion to discuss any item on the agenda.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anybody here who'd like to discuss any item that's on the agenda?
There.
Anybody? Anybody, Felicia?
Not that I can see.
No. Okay, make a motion to resume the rules.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have Linda Hannigan here from RBT. She's zooming in there, and Charlie, our comptroller, is here. So Linda, it's all yours, go ahead.
Okay, good evening. And below.
You're gonna have to turn that up.
The board members, I'm sorry?
You're doing it now.
You can hear me?
Now we can. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So what I'd like to do is do an overview of both the board report and the financial statements, which I understand from Charlie you had previously seen, and I'm going to share my screen as I go through the presentation. So,
Talking right in here. Just turn it up a little.
Alright. I apologize, it's not.
She's not talking yet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's looking for that. I sent everyone on the board a soft copy of the board report and the financials. If anybody wants a hard copy, let me know, I'll put it in their mailbox. But 2 weeks ago, I think I sent a soft copy of both these reports.
All right.
There you go, Linda.
Okay, great. So the first thing is not working for me. I apologize, it wasn't working as well as I'd expected. My first comment is with regards to the conduct of the board, of the total audit. I wanted to let you all know that first and foremost, the town staff has been very helpful and responsive to the audit this year. As you may well expect, we conducted the entire audit remotely using electronic files going back and forth. So that gave made some complications in terms of communications, but the most important thing for you as the board members to know is that the audit was completed in the same time frame as we had originally planned. In two documents that you gave, one was a board report and one was the financial statements. In the board report, we give you a summary of the all of the journal entries that are proposed, and I'd like to also report that a lot of them were given to us by the town. They weren't as a result of doing additional audit procedures. So that is a strong indication of improvements within the town's accounting department. Last year, in 2018, we had 2 reportable findings. This year, we only have 1. We have some suggestions that we first reviewed with Charlie and then with the supervisor.
Linda, can you try to speak up just a little bit or get closer to the mic?
Sure. Sure, sorry. And I'll increase my volume here. So is this better?
That's better.
Okay, sorry. So I mentioned while we had 2 findings in 2018 that were reportable, in 2019 there was only 1. So again, we're seeing an improvement with not only the accounting procedures, but also the accounting itself, shown by both the change in journal entries and in the findings themselves. As far as the town's financial position is concerned, the audit opinion is what is known as a clean opinion. There states that the financial statements are in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The overview in terms of the town as a whole showed that the town had total assets of $145 million. Those assets included $87 million in capital assets. The total liabilities was $175 million, resulting in a negative net position of $30 million. However, within those numbers, is $118 million of estimated post-employment benefits. And that's a calculation that's done every year by an actuary, but again, it's an estimate. So that's a significant portion of the outstanding debt that the town has. So in our opinion, it's a government-wide situation. The town is in a improving situation. As far as your governmental funds, your general A and B, your highway, water, and sewer, we found that all of the funds, except for the sewer fund, all had an increase in fund balance this year over last year. All of them have positive unassigned fund balances, meaning that that's money that could be used in the future. It's not been either restricted or reserved for another purpose. So for example, your general fund A, your main operating fund, it ended the year with an unassigned fund balance of over $2 million. General fund B, which also includes your police operations, that has an unassigned fund balance of $2.4 million. Highway, over 1.2 million, water, over 4.6 million, and sewer, over 3.4 million. So on a fund level, the towns, all the town's operating funds are in a very good position, which is a change from what it was a few years ago. Our financial statements also include footnotes and required schedules, but I want to call your attention to one other schedule I think that's important for the board to see, and that's the statement of indebtedness. And in that statement, overall, the debt went down $1.5 million. So for example, the town had bands outstanding at the beginning of the year. They refinanced them into long-term debt, so now the only debt that you have is long-term serial bonds. And those serial bonds total $43 million at the end of the year. However, as I said, they're going down. And that, I think, is also a strong indication of the town's financial position. In the financial statements is also that same finding that I referred to before. Based on our discussions with Charlie and Jessica, I believe that that's probably going to be satisfied next year, that they're making changes and we'll be clearing that up. So anticipating continued improvement in terms of the town's accounting and financial position. So if anyone has had a chance to, as Charlie said, forward you the documents. If you have any questions, anything that I can help answer, I'd be happy to do so.
Anybody have any questions for Linda? Linda, again, I want to thank you for the positive attitude we have going forward, and you working very closely with Jessica and Charlie. I think it gets smoother every year.
It does, absolutely does. And in this particular year where it was a little more difficult sending everything electronically, it is helpful to be in town hall and be face to face. But I think we did well in the circumstances.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Charlie, you got anything to add to that?
No, just like I said, if there's any questions, she made the important points. All the major funds have a strong fund balance, and which we need probably this time, you know, and that's what it's there for these times when the revenues and things are tough. Like I said, I think we're getting better and better and answering their questions. Like they used to have like 100 journal entries, now down to 20 journal entries. So we're taking care of a lot of the financials before they get here. So it's not so much work on their part. But I think we have a good working relationship and we're all moving forward and things are running smoother.
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Charlie. Anybody else got anything for Charlie either? No? All right, Linda, thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Before we go on to the agenda, I'd like to make a motion to move number 7 to be next.
Second?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Would be Bill, yeah?
Bill's coming, he went to get number 7.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. Gotcha.
Bill, this one's yours. This one's yours to read.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the acceptance with appreciation from the Town of Poughkeepsie Patrolman Benevolence Association, a 12-month-old police canine German Shepherd named Tanya. This is valued at $8,000, and Tanya's here.
So moved.
So moved.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Talia. Welcome aboard. You can bring him up here so you can at least see him on the camera.
They've got him up
Oh, you
there.
got him? He's got him on the camera. Yeah.
Normally, we shake hands with a new officer, but I think
That's not gonna work out.
Welcome aboard our newest officer and our youngest officer. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Congratulations and good
Thanks.
luck with her.
Everybody stay safe.
Yes. Be safe. Have a great night. Thanks for waiting. All right, on to number 4.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does accept with regret the resignation of Dominic Mills, police officer with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, effective August 7th, 2020. So moved.
Does somebody have their phone on Zoom here?
We got a motion and a second. All
I'm
those
sorry,
in favor?
who seconded that?
I'll second it.
I
did, and
Okay.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Number 5.
Be resolved, the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie, does hereby accept with regret the resignation of Corinne Burns, part-time police assistant at the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, effective July 30th, 2020. So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 6, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Jennifer Lyden to the position of permanent part-time police assistant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department at the grade 6, step 5 salary of $26.6135 per hour, which appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective August 10th, 2020. And be it further resolved, the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the acceptance with appreciation. Oops, sorry. Did that. So, on to 8. Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute a Central Hudson Gas and Electric Corporation Street Lighting Authority for the installation of LED lights on Heights Drive, Coffer Drive, and Balmoral Drive. A copy of order is attached. So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Is that Conifer Court or Conifer Drive?
Oh, Conifer Court.
Okay, okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Whereas Highway Superintendent Pfeiffer has been asked by the County Dutchess to execute a contract to participate in the Regional County Highway Snow and Ice Removal Program within the boundaries of the town. And whereas participation in the program under which county will supply control materials and reimburse the town for its labor and equipment use will result in more prompt and clement weather response times, thereby enhancing the overall safety of town residents and those who travel through the town. Whereas such participation by the town in the program by removing snow from designated county highways and applying sand, salt, and other treatments to maintain highway safety and accessibility for emergency services is specifically authorized by Article 6, Section 135A of the New York State Highway Law. Now therefore, be resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the county for the town's participation in the program, and the Highway Superintendent Pfeiffer is hereby authorized to perform such work and to receive the materials and payments therefore as outlined in the next IMA during the winter season 2020-2021, which IMA may be extended by mutual agreement of the parties. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
You know, Bill, you're gonna have to read next, because I don't have it.
You got it. Resolution number 10. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept the amended and restated stormwater maintenance easement and amendment and restated declaration of restrictive covenants in regard to the project known as Fox Run at Fulton. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to sign an amended and restated stormwater management facility inspection and maintenance agreement, amended and restated sanitary sewer facility inspection and maintenance agreement, amended and related sidewalk easement and maintenance agreement, and amended and restated payment in lieu of taxes agreement, and any supporting recording documents in regard to the Fox Run at the Fulton project, in substantially the form attached. And be it further resolved that such acceptance and authorization by the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie is subject to the approval of all final documents by the Attorney to the Town, the Planning Board, Town Engineer, and Director of Municipal Development for the Town of Poughkeepsie. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 11. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to sign sewer, stormwater, and water easements and related documents in regard to the South Road Crossing Project, which project has been subject to a completed SEQA review. And be it further resolved that such acceptance and authorization by the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie is subject to the approval of all final documents by the Town Attorney, Planning Board Attorney, Town Engineer, and the Director of Municipal Development for the Town of Poughkeepsie. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be resolved, the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby consent to the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board acting as seeker lead agency. Notice of intent paperwork can be found in Town Clerk's office for the project known as Arlington Farms, Malabar Realty LLC, 798-802 Dutchess Turnpike, Poughkeepsie, New York. Tax grid number 6262-04-571014. So moved.
Second.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on that? The only comment I want to make on this is that this is just making them lead agency. This does not guarantee anything to anybody. If anybody misinterprets it, it just means the planning board will be one looking into this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Jess, do you want to take number 13?
Sure. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept the minutes for the following 2020 Town Board meetings to wit: May 6th, 2020, regular Town Board meeting; May 20th, 2020, regular Town Board meeting; June 3rd, 2020, regular Town Board meeting; June 17th, 2020, regular Town Board meeting; July 8th, 2020, Committee of the Whole and regular Town Board meeting; July 15th, 2020, regular Town Board meeting. So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 14, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby retain Clark Patterson Lee for engineering services, which include a map, plan, and report for the Spacking Hill Pump Station improvements at its stated hourly rates, with the total cost not to exceed $15,000. And be it further resolved, the Town Board finds it would not be in the best interest of the town to solicit alternate proposals. And be it further resolved that the aforesaid services are a Type 2 action requiring no seeker review. So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions on this? This is part of our DEC consent order that we're to get the Spacking Hill Pump Station out of the floodplain. So this is the next step, the map plan report, moving forward with that. And I think we have until the end of next year to get that completed. All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept a New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee grant in the amount of $17,825, which funds will be used for seatbelt, mobilization, enforcement, and regular PTS enforcement, and be further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor or his designee to execute paperwork in relation to acceptance of this grant. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0. Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the Director of Development to accept escrows for deposit with the Town Comptroller from property owners and contract vendees receiving residential certificates of occupancy, said escrows to be in the amounts determined by the building inspector, but no event more than $3,000, which escrows shall be to assure the completion of required exterior work on residential sites and conditioned on the work be satisfactorily and timely completed pursuant to the terms of the standard escrow acceptance contract and substantially the form annexed. Be it further resolved, the Town Board finds that permitting such agreements is part of the ongoing administration and management of the town, which creates no priorities or environmental risk and does not require a secret review. So moved.
Second.
Before you vote on that, can I suggest an amendment in the fourth line? Mike Welty and I had talked about having the amount determined by the development director, and this still says the building inspector, and so I think Mike would join me in suggesting that the words building inspector be changed to director of development.
Yeah, I'll make that motion. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just so everybody knows, when somebody purchases a new house, in order to get their mortgage, they have to have a CO. A TCO does not work, and we've fallen in a couple of situations where, like, they haven't quite finished the lawn, or they haven't got to the very end, and they want to close knowing the lawn's going to grow. So this is just our way of holding something back, so we make sure that's done without holding the homeowner back from their chance of closing on their home. It's just a safety and a fallback for us to make sure the work still gets done. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Mike and Jim, thanks for putting that together.
Sure, you're welcome.
Okay, resolution 17. Be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt and certify the current base proportions as follows. Town, H, 53.23255. NH, 46.76745. Town outside the village, 50.82940. NH, 45.71385. Consolidated light, H, 54.28615. NH, 5.71385. Spackenkill School, H, 49.64077. NH, 50.35923. Arlington School, 63.79250. NH, 6.20750. Wappinger School, 61.81156. NH, 38.18844. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt and certify the adjustment base proportions as follows. Town, H, 53.33892. NH, 46.66108. Town outside the village, 50.94672. NH, 49.05328. Consolidated light, 54.40799. NH, 45.59201. Spackenkill Schools, 49, under H, 49.76782. Under NH, 50.2318. Arlington School, under H. 64.22638, under NH. 35.77362. Wappinger School, under H. 61.88146, under NH. 38.11854. So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Hang on, I'm scrolling to the next one. Getting there. All right, here we go. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept a stormwater management facility inspection and maintenance easement in regard to the project known as Shady Brook Mobile Home Park in substantially the form attached. And be it further resolved that such acceptance and authorization by the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie is subject to approval of all final documents by the town attorney, planning board attorney, town engineer, and the director of municipal development for the town of Poughkeepsie. So moved.
We have
Second.
a motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those
The
in favor?
document is not attached, but I negotiated it with Charlie Scott. It's one of our standard form of maintenance easements, and he did sign it and return it, so we have it down the hall.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Mr. Supervisor, do we have to read 18?
I'm gonna ask
Notice
the
negative?
It's just a notification, number
Yeah.
18.
Number 18 is just a notification of a type 1 negative declaration by the town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board for 25 and 31 Raymond Avenue, town of Poughkeepsie, parcel 6161-12-755735 and 6161-12-784726. That brings us to the end of our agenda.
I just wanted to
wanna
let you
go
know, I
back?
did check my emails, Jay, and there was nothing there.
We'd like to go back to the public hearing number 1. Jeff, did you find anything?
I didn't. I, like Felicia, have lots of county recommendations, but not one on this. I thought I did, so thank
Okay.
you.
I guess
Yeah,
that's it.
as far as this goes, Jeff, and I don't know if Mike is still with us, I think you have 3 options. The first 2 are the safest because there's no risk. The third would be something which would, you know, to the extent that there is any risk in it, it would be to people who have applied for signs. So the first option is do it on the 19th. The second is to hold a special meeting. And the third would be to change the wording on the second page to make this a conditional adoption. And I just don't know if that's something that Jeff is, I don't mean to put him in the spot, but I don't know whether that's something he is interested in.
I don't, I guess my question to you, Jim, is how does that work? It's conditional pending the county, either 30-day expiration or county response? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I mean, basically what you'd take is the language on the top of the second page, and you delete it, and then you would go through the be it enacted, and just before the last one, you would say, be it resolved that if the requested recommendation from the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development, when received, is neither a conditional recommendation nor a recommendation against the proposed amendment, then be it enacted that the local law shall take effect immediately. That's,
So I wouldn't send it up to the state until that condition was met?
Correct.
That's my question,
well,
you know?
You have to wait.
yeah, you'd have to wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a penalty to the developer if we hold this
The
over?
county.
What was that, Mike?
I was just to say, I could definitely call over to the county tomorrow to, to see if they are prepared to make their recommendation.
All right.
And is it getting the recommendation or the 30 days expires? I mean, is that understood without having to put that in the resolution?
If the 30 days has expired, which my recollection is from the date of receipt by the county these days, then you can go ahead and act without it.
But we're not at 30 days yet.
We're not at 30 days.
No, and I did not mail it out the next day because I had to wait for some public hearing notice information, so it didn't go out the next day. It
Is
went
there
out.
anything, Mike, is there anything negative to the developer side of this if we wait to the next meeting?
Yeah, negative is these are for, if I'm correct, Jeff, the 4 new stores that are in the front there, they have 4 shops, and a couple of them are opening in the next week or so.
So there would be a
prior.
negative impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 3 of them already have approval for their signs, right? So is it the 4th one that we're talking about, Jeff?
Right. The 4th one can't apply for his signs until this action. So
Right.
it's,
The other 3 went through the ZBA, which we are hoping now to avoid having to do in the future with this change. So,
Could he still open? He just wouldn't have a sign? I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
yes, he could open without a sign. There are some marketing opportunities that we have with all 4 opening at once that it looks kind of funny because there's a space for the sign. There's this big rectangle that just doesn't have anything on it. So it looks funny. And so it has so yes, it has some marketing impact on us that we were trying to avoid. And, I'm certainly amenable to Jim's suggestion, but that's obviously your.
My
What did you
opinion,
finish with, Jeff? I'm sorry.
would you say,
I
Jeff?
was just going to say that I think it makes sense, and maybe we can get the county to take a look at that and respond in the next day or so. So, we'd be ready to go. They typically do not comment on this type of a referral. They would typically respond that it's a matter of local concern. But of course, I can't guarantee that. But it's a fairly safe bet.
I think I'd like to make the motion to make the change pending the approval from the county, that we can approve it. I mean, during the times we are in now, we have new businesses that want to open, and I think to hold them back any little bit hurts, and help them move this project forward, I think would be great. So I would be in favor of moving forward with the changes that Jim made to get this in place pending we get the notice back from the county, or the 30 days runs out.
Okay, so what you're going to do, and Billy, you're going to second it, Jay, you moved it. You're taking the first paragraph off the top of page 2, and in the next to last paragraph, it is now going to say, be it resolved that if no recommendation is received within 30 days, or if the requested recommendation from the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development, when received, is neither a conditional recommendation nor a recommendation against the proposed amendment, be it further enacted that said local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So are you gonna vote first on the amendment? Is that what you're gonna do?
Make a motion to vote on the amendment.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to vote on this public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 7-0. Good luck on those new business opening. Hopefully, Mike will reach out to the county tomorrow, and we'll be able to rectify that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That brings us to the end of our agenda. I'd like to make a motion to discuss.
Mike, it's Shelby Frank that's doing that particular one, just so you know.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll call her tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any item at all.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Is there anybody that would like to discuss anything at all? This is your time to speak.
Yes, hi, my name is Margaret Bunclora.
Yes,
Can you guys hear me?
yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a local landlord over at 53 Inwood Avenue, and I've been just trying to get a small matter resolved, so I would like to address the board with this issue. My request is that the board recognizes, I had a water bill issue over at 53 Inwood Avenue, and I've been trying to resolve this through various emails, and I really haven't gotten any headway. So I'm just asking that the board consider my request for reimbursement of $125 that was mistakenly credited to a different house that I own. And I've spoken to various people there at the board, and the recommendation was that I try and retrieve this money back from my tenants who have moved out. They were students and they moved out on May 31st. But I had to give them a detailed list of security deposit deductions. And at that time, when they moved out, I had called the water department and was told that my water bill was $90, when in fact it was $215 because of that $125 credit that was credited to the wrong house. So I'm just asking the board if they would reimburse me the $125, because I don't feasibly think that I'm going to be able to get that back from my tenants. They've moved out, they were students, and I just don't think that they're going to reciprocate and reimburse me for those funds. So I would just like to ask the board to discuss this and see if this is feasible to reimburse me for $125. Thank you.
Have you reached out to your tenants yet, or no?
No, I haven't reached out to them yet, and there are 5 different tenants. So there are 5 students, so I haven't reached out to them because I gave them an itemized deduction list of the security, and at that time, I deducted it, gave them back the security, they moved out, so as far as I'm concerned, it's a done deal. They're done. So to go back now and tell them, oh, I made an error, there's still $125 left over, I don't think it's fair to them. And I think I did my due diligence by giving them the detailed list within 14 days, which is required by law. So I just don't think that, I think it's going to be a fruitless endeavor to try and get this money from them.
We will be discussing this later tonight amongst the whole board, since we haven't really been in much contact lately due to what we have. So it is on our agenda to discuss this later on tonight.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else? If not, make a motion to resume the rules.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjourn to executive session. Consider the following. Matters subject to the attorney-client privilege. So moved.
Second. We got a motion and a second. Before we go into executive session, I just want to discuss for a second, as everybody knows, we had the hurricane came through last night. As far as water damage, we were spared water damage, but as of this morning, we had 15,000 customers we have in the town of Poughkeepsie, and we had over 4,000 without power. As of now, we're down to 2,100 still without power. We're about 15% of our residents are still without power. This morning, we're 30-something%. And just to put it in perspective, there's neighboring towns that are high as 60 and 70%. So this is ongoing. They're attacking it from the large numbers and working their way down. We ask everybody, please be patient. If they need anything desperately, please reach out to the town, and we'll do our best to help you through the situation. But as any of the council members get any calls from any residents, if you really need anything, reach out. We'll try to get what we can to the residents. They've done a lot today. They've cut the outages in this area in half. But I mean, some of these towns are 60, 70% out. They're hitting the critical spots first. They will know tomorrow morning more of a timeline of when all these outages will be fixed. There's so many, they were still out assessing them all day today, and they're not expecting to have a number and a complete time frame until after 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll know tomorrow more along the line of where we stand. I'll send everybody an email in the morning where we stand and how many outages we still have, and try to get a more definitive answer from them. Central Hudson was on numerous calls with the county, with all the supervisors today, and they held their own meeting earlier today to try to keep us abreast. They came out with a new portal this year, about 2 months ago, for the towns to use, and we personally have it in place now. In the supervisor's office, highway, water, and sewer also have it. Makes a better contact, but last night, they had a major internet issue, and even the portal went down. So this morning, they're still scrambling. They're rushing to get done what they can. They still made great hurdles. Their crews are out there. They brought crews in from out of town already. So they are doing the best they can get going. And our highway department is out trying to clean some of the roads. Mark had numerous roads out last night. I'm talking like 40 or 50 roads that had trees on them. So his crew worked diligently overnight. Sewer and water have worked diligently for trees and wires down. Franco's up to 99% power now, and water department's pretty much up to where they belong. So this was small of a storm. It looked, you drive up and down our main roads, everything looks fine, but once you hit into the neighborhoods and you get off the main roads, 9, 44, and 55, we still have a lot of people out of power, and we've asked them, if you have any neighbors, elderly, please reach out to your neighbors and make sure they're okay. We've helped a few people today. We've been lucky the phones weren't inundated today, but I think most people are understanding where we're going. But just understand, Central Hudson told us today, this is a 2 to 3 day fix for everybody to be back on. So if everybody calls you, that's where we stand now. I'll try to get a better number out to everybody in the morning when Central Hudson comes back with more of a detailed report of where we stand.
I got an email too about dry ice being a shortage.
Well, Felicia, yes, Central Hudson tried to get 4,000 pounds of dry ice. They only received 500. With all that's going on, as everybody saw in the supermarkets during COVID, paper towel shortage, there has been an ice shortage the whole summer, and at all the dry ice they tried to get, they were able to get 500 pounds, and they were distributing it over Newburgh. They were distributing today, as they call it, wet ice and bottled water up at Home Depot Plaza. We'll post it again tomorrow if they're back up there tomorrow, but they're up there today from 12 o'clock on, and we posted that, so hopefully they'll be back up there tomorrow, unless they got this area back online. So they've been working. There's not a lot of places. The Home Depot lot is one of the few in the county that actually has anything available. So, I mean, they're having issues with ice, dry ice. So on top of that, so everybody be as patient as possible going for it. The guys are out there, and they are working hard. They keep bringing in more crews from outside the area. There was originally a shift. They thought the storm was coming in one direction, so they moved all the crews into like the next section over, and then the storm switched, and then they had to bring all the crews back. So there was a little bit of delay, and there was a time down during the winds where nothing could get accomplished because it was too dangerous to be on the poles.
I have friends from Hopewell in the city of Poughkeepsie staying with me tonight. So,
Yeah.
and I think LaGrange was pretty hard hit. So.
LaGrange was hit hard. East Fishkill was hit very hard. I mean, we were hit hard too. I mean, we had, almost 33% of our residents were without power, so that's a lot. I mean, our main area is 9, 44, and 55. It looks like nothing happened if you're out driving, but once you get off those roads, you hit all the neighborhoods. There's quite a few large pockets that were out, so we are working with them. We've been talking to Central Hudson, all day today. So tomorrow morning, hopefully, we'll have better numbers for everybody and give you an idea. So if you have anybody specific you're looking for in certain neighborhoods, send it to me, and we can look it up on the portal and try to get a better restoration time if possible.
And before you adjourn, when you go back to the meeting room for the members who are not here in the building tonight, I'm going to try and reach you by phone on your cells. Is that okay?
I was going to say that I didn't receive an invitation, and I was assuming that I'm invited, but I have to...
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course.
You're invited. Yes.
Of course.
7:56, the town goes in executive session. Thank you.